Hi there, welcome back to the Marlowe Chess Stand. We're going to bring you the game of the week. It's going to be my game, and it's going to be played at the Knights Chess Club on Monday night at the Slick 60s tournament. So it's a 60-minute game. This is round 4 of the 60-minute tournament. I was 3-0 going into this game, and this one I'm white against Richard Pennington. So, I start off knight f3, sort of a chameleon opening. We don't know what we're going to play. Let's see what he comes up with. Give him a chance to go wrong early. I don't know. Knight to c6. Not what I would play. So we're going to play d4. Try and make it look silly. He's going to play d5. And I don't know, what do we have here? Like a reversed Verisov opening? Yeah, it's not terrible or anything like that. We going to play bishop f4. Let's get our pieces out. He's going to play e6. He wants to play this bishop to d6 and challenge this. Perfectly understandable. I'm going to play e3. Going to continue developing, get my pawns out of the way of my pieces. Bishop d6. Let's see. He could play bishop d4, sort of fracture my pawn structure a little bit. I kind of have to... If I try and play something like this, I might run into this here, attacking this pawn here, and also threatening queen to b4 check. Or not check, but double attacking these two pawns. So I decided that's probably not good to let him do that. We'll take a, we'll take a tempo out to just back that sucker up. And if he takes here, now I'm open the H file. This is all standard stuff here. Now I'm going to continue to develop. If his knight goes to e4, I can trade that off, and then knight back to d2. And he's got some weak pawns and bad diagonals. c3. I want to play my bishop to d3, but I don't want him to get a knight to b4 with a tempo here, and then be able to play c5. b6. Now I'm going to play bishop to d3. Now he's going to play rook to e8. He wants to play e5. I don't want him to play e5, so I'm going to play knight to e5. If he plays knight takes, obviously there's a pawn fork, so he can't do that. He can play bishop takes e5 and get rid of his better bishop. Probably the route you want to take here, here, and here. Even though at this point I could just castle, because if he goes here, 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 I kind of have this little trick. Check, pick up the knight this way, but in this final position here, I'd say black's probably a little bit better here with the bishop versus the knight, so it's not that neat of a trick. Maybe you can try and get some sort of sacking of queen to h5 with some threats. Probably would have been better than what he did. At this point, he decided he was going to do this. So I decided I'm going to play f4 and really clamp down on e5. And I'm anticipating him playing knight to f5, in which case I'm going to back my bishop to f2 and run this g-pawn at him, which would be very uncomfortable for black. He takes time out to go c5. We want to initiate some sort of queenside counterplay. Queen f3. Now I'm seriously thinking of castling queenside. And stopping his knight from coming to e4 is very big in this position here, because if black doesn't own e4 or has no influence on it, or if white owns it, then black's not good here. So I still have three pieces on e4, and he's got 3, but he can't occupy it because then he'll only have 2. So right now I have majority control over e4. I can't really occupy it either, but he can. So I decided I'm going to castle queenside, or kingside. Thought seriously about castling queenside, but decided I like my king safety here. You could probably go either way on this. Now we play c4. As you can see, I had some directionals already entered in this game here. So at this point, I probably could have played a knight takes c4. And because of this pin on this diagonal, I could take that bishop. But there are certain complications. And I just thought in my mind that, you know what? I don't like his bishop on b7. I really like my bishop on d3. So I'm not going to, even if I win a pawn out of this, I want to continue. I like my position so much of this attack here that trading my better minor piece just to win a pawn wasn't best to me. Personal feeling, maybe objectively, I don't know. So, bishop c2, g6, probably not a good idea, weakening the dark squares here. So, we're going to go here, attack this knight, and he doesn't have a whole lot of good squares to go to, so he decided to get this knight in the action. But now I'm going to trade this off here, get rid of my weak bishop, and I'm going to hit him with g4. He can come to knight to h4 here, but then I'm going to move my queen, and then I'm threatening g5 and winning a piece, and that's very uncomfortable. So he decides coming back, and now I'm going to hit him with g5 again, driving his queen back to another awkward square. And now I play knight to g4, and lo and behold, I'm threatening knight f6 check. And knight h6 is looming too, but the main problem here is I'm going to move this h-pawn up here and put my rook on the h-file, my queen on the h-file, maybe two rooks on the h-file, as many as it takes here. And there's going to be a very, very uncomfortable mating attack coming up here. But my big threat right now is knight f6 check, and he decides he's going to meet that by rook to f8, which is not a good idea because that's cutting off your own king's escape here, because I'm coming at you here. And here comes h4. He decides he needs to get the knight in for defense, but here comes h5. And suddenly there's a neat little threat here, is knight to f6 check, king to h8, and then, wait, actually, sorry, I go h6, queen to h8, and then knight to f6, and then he's got to give up the queen or he's mated. So that's a serious threat there. So, since he doesn't want to see h6, he goes here. Now knight f6 check, king here, knight f5, queen to g6, and now queen to h3. We're going to be mating on h7 here eventually. Rook to g8, hoping to get something on this file at my king, and maybe he can bust it with f6 or h6 and try and save himself. Of course, we're just going to sidestep the king over to f2, and now both the rooks are coming into the game very fast. This is not looking good for black here. Bishop e7, maybe we can try and facilitate f6. We need to create some sort of escape. Right now this queen is running out of squares, especially since he brought the rook in behind it. You can see how he's just got, in essence, almost too many pieces on his king side. Rook to h1. Here comes the attack on h7. Now knight f3, threatening a knight to e5, trapping that queen. f6, creating some sort of left for that queen, but boy, this is just starting to open up in a bad way for him. Knight takes, bishop takes. I can play rook to g1 right now. It's probably good. I can play a lot of moves that are good. Decided I'm going to knight takes f6 at this point. Obviously, you can't play queen takes f6. h7 is mate, so rook takes. Now this is coming this way, and the mate is still on h7, so there's really only one move here. And now knight to g5 is just kind of bad here. I might consider resigning at this point, but he plays on. I guess the only thing to do here is rook takes g5, but now You're down the exchange, and the attack hasn't really slowed down at all. That's bad. So rook to g6, trying to free himself. And then he runs into queen to h5, which is just a horrible, uncomfortable move to have to deal with. The rook is pinned. What could he do here? Let's see, if he goes rook to g7, I could just play that. And then if he goes here, check, 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 check. Yeah, I guess we could just simplify this. Here, 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 there, there, and then there. And he's a rook down for nothing. So that wouldn't work. And this terribly uncomfortable position, he tried this, which also fails to this. Can't play h takes because there's a mate on h8. So here, and then he runs into this pin. Now he's losing even more material, and the attack is still going. Definitely could have been a good place to resign here, but Richard chose not to, and it's right to everybody to play on. So we played here, 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 and we played h6 at this point. In which case, we're just going to simplify this position and win a piece. Here, 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 check here. And at this point, he resigned because I'm going to pick up that bishop on b7 with a check. So that gets me to 4-0, and we'll see who we play next week and put the game up. Hope you enjoyed that, and there'll be more to come. Thank you very much.